The next top story is how people experiences the path towards hyperinflation. This is from, what is that? Did play well? 8 comments,
Did I play
12,000,
well?
13,000 stats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, did I play well? Usually writes about Argentina. I think they currently live in Argentina. I think they at one point they were even in Melee's cabinet. But I shared, or someone shared, I think. Oh no, yeah, I shared an article about hyperinflation that was written by, I think, a guy named John Cook, um, that describes, or he was confused by how uh, people in a hyperinflationary economy, they don't end up switching off of the local currency, even though it's hyperinflating, that they kind of just go with the flow and don't switch off to a stronger money in mass and, save themselves from hyperinflation. So John Cook here was kind of confused about that. A short article, admittedly, didn't really do much research, but Did I Play Well, who has firsthand experience in a hyperinflationary economy, kind of workshopped the scenario of an average citizen experiencing hyperinflation in that article on Stacker.News, and he breaks it down kind of into 10 points. But the it's kind of like boiling a frog a little bit, where things subtly change, gradually, and then suddenly you're at 1,000% inflation. One of the stages, one of the later stages of hyperinflation, and I guess Argentina experienced in the early 90s, was 1,000%, I think, annual inflation. He said it was to the point where you would try to grab as many things as possible while you were at the register, because in just simply walking from a shelf to the register would change the prices such that they would increase. Yeah. That's how bad it was at one point. There are some of the other things I hadn't even realized would happen in a hyperinflationary economy, but he said one of the things is you actually have a lot of like reduced selection of goods in the stores that you would normally go to, and that begins sort of earlier, as it's just beginning to ramp up. Like maybe you previously had 20 types of bread that you could buy in the bread aisle, and then I think to achieve some cost savings, they maybe start stocking more of a select few bread brands, because they get some maybe discount at volume, and just like these subtle effects start creeping in, and it's just subtle until it's like obvious, and you're at the point where you have 1,000% inflation. He's telling the story from the perspective of someone who, was kind of disinterested in the economy, didn't really understand why their friends in government were extremely well off despite not working. And yeah, I thought it was really excellent. I learned a lot in it. This is the thread that he ended up writing based on, but where he asked, I could tell you why, this, like, I could explain why people get themselves in this situation in a hyperinflationary economy, and then he followed up with this post here.
Yeah, it looks like he goes through all the different phases, the abyss, the darkness, about why that happens and what happens to all the merchants and everything. Undisciplined had the top comment. He said that was excellent. I'd say the situation in America feels like somewhere between steps 4 and 5 in the abyss, and how do shop owners actually update prices so rapidly? Clearly, they can't be relabeling that often. Did play well says, I'm glad you liked it. I see the same, but those are the return points still. God forbid it escalates any further. Price tags become meaningless, and people become used to distrust whatever price tag they see. What are you guys seeing here in San Antonio? Is there a lot of inflation happening in San Antonio? Or do you see businesses closing down, or no? Or you don't, or that's not happening in San Antonio? Yeah, so pricing's going up. So it hurts, but it's not killing you. Like definitely in Austin, there's like a lot of businesses closing down for sure. There's at least like 4 businesses I can think of just in downtown area that's closing down. $100,000 is not enough anymore to live on. in Austin for sure. That's crazy to think, right? Like a year ago, that's like insane. But nowadays, I would say 100,000 is just not cutting it. What else, Keon?
Oh, um, yeah. Well, we're in San Antonio, which isn't too far from Austin. I think.
It's weird because like in Corpus, I see everything like same level. Like nothing's changed as far as like food prices or anything when I visited. The
Really?
the rent has roughly stayed the same. Yeah, in Corpus, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 Austin, I think Austin's just higher. There's just higher pricing there. Uh,
Yeah. I definitely know there's like the Royal Blue Grocery around the corner from Club
closing
Lab
down.
is closing down, I think, because they couldn't keep the same lease terms.
The other place down the street, other
Yeah.
place is closing down too.
Yeah, they said they're didn't they just had to relocate. They're down to
Yeah.
they were on Congress before, and I
Yeah.
think they got outbid or something on their lease, and then they had to leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Leave. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I believe it. They're clearing a lot of stuff downtown. I think what's happening is a lot of businesses are closing, and then you're seeing a lot of like, new money come in and like purchase all these old buildings.
Yeah, we're
Cool.
not in hyperinflation. Fortunately, we're not experiencing hyperinflation, but yeah, it is. We have a little glimpse of some inflation at least.